Dennis Russell here again, talking about the Behringer V-Amp2 guitar processor. I've had this unit for about 6 or 7 years, and this is a great little unit. I really recommend this for the beginner to intermediate guitar player. It's got a lot of effects in it. It's got a lot of different amp models you can choose from, and you know, they're pretty inexpensive. I just bought the V-Amp bass online on eBay this last week and paid $95 for it, and I think you can even get the V-Amp2s for a little bit cheaper. This particular one has kind of been through the ringer. It's just been in boxes as I moved, and you know, I didn't really take care of it that well actually. It's got a lot of scratches on it, but it works really well still. Like I said, I like this unit for the beginner to intermediate guitar player, and I'll tell you the reason why. As you're wanting to expand your playing and learn different effects, and you know, what does a flanger do, and what does a compressor do, and a wah, and all these different things. You know, one good effect, if you bought it, could be $100. You know, you could spend $100 on a tremolo pedal, and or a flanger or a chorus pedal, and you get all of these built into one unit. So I think this is great because it allows you to kind of find out the sound that you want, and then if you want to upgrade and get a little bit more expensive equipment, then you can do that. But this is a great practicing tool also. Some of the jacks, it's got input, phone jack, aux in, aux level, left and right out, your AC in, and your MIDI in and out. And it's got some places for your MIDI cable in there too. Also, it's got a spot for your foot switch. But one thing that I like about it is that they put this aux in and aux level. And what you can do with that is you can go in and hook up your MP3 player that's playing background tracks, or if you hooked it up to your computer somehow, and then you can adjust the level of the background track, plug your guitar in, and then jam out to it. And I like to use this with the headphones, and so the MP3 player going in the aux in, and then my guitar going in, and then both of them coming out of the headphones. And it just really allows you to hear what you're playing instead of you know, even going through an amp. You know, sometimes you have to crank an amp pretty loud before your ears really hear it, but you can crank your headphones as loud as you want. So that's a really good practicing tool, especially if you're in a household of people and you don't want to disturb everybody. You can use this one unit to practice with instead of hooking up to an amp. Some of the controls on here, it's got gain, treble, mid, bass, volume, master volume, as well as you can choose a bunch of different amp styles here. And you can crank the gain, which is great because you can, it's like a real amplifier. You can crank the gain to get different tones out of it. On the right side, it's got all these different effects that you can go through: tremolo, flanger, chorus, phaser, auto wah, compressor. I'm going to play through these all in a minute, as well as your effects level, and it's got a reverb built into it as well, which is really nice to have on a guitar effects processor. You can save your patches with these up here, so you can have like an A, B, C, D, and then also there's banks within those patches that you can dial up as well. So if you get a sound that you really like, you can save it. Also has a built-in tuner, and it also has a tap tempo. So if you know, like with say a tremolo or something that's going wah 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 wah, you can tap exactly what speed you want that to, what tempo you want that tremolo to be at. Now, three things of the unit that I wasn't extremely impressed with, but I will say this before I go into that: the overall, I really like this unit for $100 or less. Getting all these in one spot, I just really recommend this for the beginner student. But the three things that I wasn't extremely impressed with was, number one, it is a little bit noisy. You know, if you were using this in a live setting, you'd have to choose which sounds that created the least amount of noise. Not all of them are, but some of the sounds, the different amps and some of the different effects, put a little bit of hiss into the sound. But like I said, for the money, it's great. The other thing is the tuner sometimes has difficult time locking into the actual pitch if you're just hitting open strings. Sometimes I find it difficult, but if I hit a harmonic, it locks in right off the bat. So not too bad. And then the other thing is, and this is kind of surprising, is actually the power supply to it. This is the power supply, and it's like, it's got, I don't know, 5 feet on both sides of this brick in the middle. And I'm not really sure why they did this. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is like, I guess, your normal wall wart type thing that, you know, the box that would plug up to the wall with a plug built into it. I think they should have done that with this instead of making an additional wire that goes longer, and because you have this box sitting in the middle of the floor then instead of a flat wire. Also on the end that plugs into the V-Amp, it's kind of this weird jack that's kind of looks like an S-video cable. Instead of the normal, typical jack that you would find like on a 9-volt adapter or something like that, that go to most processors. So if this were to get damaged somehow, you'd probably have a difficult time finding a replacement. Certainly more difficult than just a normal standard jack would. But overall, for the money, this thing is great, especially for the beginner student. Now, when you buy it, it comes with this kind of gig bag. This is actually the gig bag for the base V-Amp that I just got. I spilt something on mine, some lacquer or something, and it damaged mine from the original V-Amp, and I just threw it away. But it is kind of a little neat unit, a neat little gig bag to carry around with you. It's got a spot for the foot switch to change your presets, got a little strap, and then it's got a spot for your power supply, which, this being that huge power supply, it's nice that they actually put a spot in here for it. And then obviously for your V-Amp, just fits right in here. And it's a great little bag carrying it and transporting it. Had I had this the whole time, my thing wouldn't be all scratched up. So overall, great little unit. Okay, I'm going to demo this guy really quick for you. First, I'm going to go through the effects here on the right side. I'm going to just scroll through them, play a little bit so you can hear what they do. And then I'm going to go through the amp section over here, and I'm going to go through it with the gain cranked high and one time with the gain cranked low, so you can kind of hear the difference in that. So hopefully this is helpful to you. If it is, please hit the like, comment, subscribe button on YouTube, and thank you so much for watching.